High-resolution screens are becoming more common on the market. 4K resolution displays are no longer a luxury. 4K still sits on the upper echelon of the premium viewing experience, but it's safe to say that you can buy a good quality 4K display without burning a huge hole in your pocket. Here, we're going to take a look at some of the best budget 4K monitors you can buy. ASUS ProArt lineup has a host of great products for creative professionals, but a lot of them are expensive. The ProArt Display PA279CV monitor, unlike many ProArt products, is actually quite affordable. True to its creative aspirations, the design is stunning. It has little to no bezels on three sides of the display, except for the bottom panel. It features an IPS panel that delivers 10-bit color rendering and is capable of handling more than a billion different shades. We're looking at a 60 Hz refresh rate for this panel along with a 5 milliseconds response time, so it's not targeting gamers, but it'll get by okay if you want to do more casual gaming. The ASUS ProArt Display PA279CV delivers excellent image quality out of the box. Peak brightness is around 300 nits and it covers up to 98% of the sRGB color space, 77.9% of the DCI-P3 gamut, and 74.5% of the Adobe RGB space. It's certainly not the absolute best, but for a budget creative monitor, it's still excellent. The Samsung S80 UA is yet another great option, especially for those who are looking to buy a 4K monitor with a USB Type-C port. This monitor comes with a USB-C hub that adds more ports to your desktop setup to help you organize and connect your important peripherals. As far as the specifications go, the Samsung S80 UA sports a 27-inch IPS display with a WLED backlight. It has a 16:9 aspect ratio with a maximum resolution of 3840 by 2160. We're only getting a 60 Hz refresh rate support with a 5 milliseconds response time, though, which seems to be the norm for this price range. The S80 UA has a peak brightness of 300 nits and a 1,000:1 contrast ratio, and the overall image quality is pretty good. Finally, in addition to the USB Type-C hub, the Samsung S80 UA also comes with a single DisplayPort 1.2 and HDMI 2.0 port. The monitor comes with a USB-C and an HDMI cable in the box, too, which is just a bonus. The LG 32UN500W is a stripped-down version of the LG 32UN950W and 32UN650W, which are both more expensive monitors in LG's ultra-fine lineup. So a budget version is most welcome. As for the specs, the LG 32UN500W features a 31.5-inch VA panel with a WLED backlight. We're looking at a maximum resolution of 3840 by 2160 for a 16:9 aspect ratio. It's not really a gaming panel, as evidenced by the 60 Hz refresh rate and 5 milliseconds response time, but it does have AMD FreeSync support. It has a peak brightness of 350 nits and a 3,000:1 contrast ratio. It also supports HDR10. As far as the ports are concerned, it sports one DisplayPort 1.4 and two HDMI 2.0 ports, alongside a 3.5mm audio out and power supply port. It's also great for content consumption and console gaming as it packs built-in speakers, something that's still rarer than you might think. It's the complete package. 4K gaming is still growing, but we're already at a point where you can get a budget monitor like the ASUS TUF Gaming VG289Q. It features a 28-inch IPS/WLED panel with a 16:9 aspect ratio and a maximum resolution of 2840 by 2160. The fact that it only supports up to 60 Hz refresh rate may sound like a letdown, especially for a gaming monitor, but we're talking a budget display here. We're also looking at a 5 milliseconds response time, which is again not the quickest, but still not a deal breaker. The overall image quality, however, is great. The TUF Gaming VG289Q has a peak brightness of 350 nits, and it has a 1000:1 contrast ratio. This panel also supports HDR. While the HDR quality may not be as good as it is on higher-end monitors, it's certainly better than not having it. Just like a lot of other ASUS TUF Gaming products, this one also has subtle design cues to represent its gaming DNA. The bezels around the display are also quite thin, and all in, this is a pretty great package. The Samsung UR59C is the best budget 4K monitor, offering a 32-inch VA panel with accuracy and curves. Image quality is superb, with bold, accurate colors and clear text after calibration. When we tested in sRGB mode, we recorded a color error of 4.3 dA with visible errors, but our calibration got it down to 0.9 dA. So your web and games should look as intended. The UR59C also offers fantastic contrast, As expected from a VA panel, hitting an impressive 2590.5:1 after calibration. Ultra-wide screens typically offer more noticeable curves, but despite its 16:9 aspect ratio, the UR59C'(S1500R curve is pronounced and beneficial, allowing us to keep more windows in view. This monitor isn't fit for serious gaming, but casual players can make it work. The UR59C has a 60 Hz refresh rate, 4 milliseconds response time, and no FreeSync or G-Sync to fight screen tears. You'd get noticeably better response times and input lag scores from a 75 Hz screen. But games didn't look bad with its high contrast and the pixel density of a 32-inch, 4K screen. So if you're games that aren't graphically intense or at lower settings and you have a speed enough graphics card that can consistently hit 60 frames per second, you can enjoy blur-free gaming on the UR59C.